Hi, my name's Rich Harrington for Understanding Adobe Photoshop, and today we're going to take a look at lens profiles. Now, when you're shooting with a digital SLR camera, chances are you switched lenses, and each lens needs to have a profile to compensate for some of its unique characteristics. Some lenses produce a lot of barrel distortion, others not so much. Other lenses you'll see will have fringe or chromatic aberration. All of these things can be stored with a lens profile and then applied to an image via the lens correction command. Let's see how it works. I've opened an image up here into Photoshop, and there's just a little bit of distortion happening with this photo. Let's go ahead and choose Filter. We'll convert this to a Smart Filter, and then apply Lens Correction. Now, the reason we converted it to a Smart Object first was so we had greater flexibility. You can apply lens correction to any image, but there's a good chance you're going to go back and tweak it as you work with the image. So this gives you added flexibility. Just choose Filter, Convert for Smart Filters, and the layer will be turned into a smart object. Now, let's take a look at this image here. I'm going to do some auto correction to start off with, and we'll leave auto scale checked. I want to go ahead and choose the camera that was used. In this case, it was Nikon, so it recognized that. And right now, not all the camera profiles are loaded. Down the road, as Photoshop CS5 has been out for a while, more camera profiles will be released. This will give you much greater flexibility to actually store profiles or download ones created by the community. Adobe also offers a lens profile tool that you can use, which consists of a shooting target and a bit of software to help you calibrate the lenses properly. Now, I'm going to go ahead and select the lens that I used for this, and the closest lens that I had was an 18 to 70, and it was a 4.0. So I'm going to choose this one, which is pretty close, and you'll notice that a little bit of distortion at the edges was compensated for. Let's uncheck that there, and you see that it's wrapping the image just a bit, and there's the edges there. It's actually bending the outside back to compensate for the lens distortion. So that was a very subtle but important adjustment. If you zoom in as well to 100%, it's a little easier to see. You can look for chromatic aberration, and this will help pick some of that up too. Now, this particular photo I'm shooting is a little bit of a high grain structure. I was shooting that way on purpose, but you'll see chromatic aberration occasionally, especially with cheaper lenses. This particular one doesn't really have it, so I'll uncheck it. That's looking pretty good. And I'm going to say, go ahead and show me the grid. Now, you've got this grid, and if you want to, you can move the image around or click here to actually drag and move the alignment grid and make sure your image stays aligned. If you need to, you can find a surface and drag along it to measure, and it will actually rotate the image to match. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to use that for a moment here. Let's zoom out. And let's look and see if we have any distortion. Now, that line is pretty straight. We can move the grid as we see fit. And what we're trying to do is just check this edge. If we zoom in there, it looks like the auto did it, but if it didn't, we can actually use this control here to remove distortion. And you drag slowly, and you'll see that it basically pulls the image, bulging it